All right, I'm Will Hawkins, for those of you who have not met yet. So I'm on a dual appointment biology and physiology and sport. And so this class is for our exercise science track. So it's exercise science 383. And the course is titled kinesiology. So the course is titled kinesiology. I chose to use a structural kinesiology textbook. So it has a little bit more applied anatomy, physiology feel, and biomechanics feel to it. I'm going to start at the end with reflections. So I actually took some online classes in my undergrad, and one was really, really bad, and one was really good. So the really bad one was medical terminology. It just came across super lazy. You know, you have all these pre-meds, pre-PTs that are seniors, and the professor wanted you to do like crossword puzzles several times a week. It just seemed very lazy and kind of condescending. And so that kind of turned me off. Fortunately for me, the next semester I took a really good online class. It was a neuroscience class, and this was, I don't know, 7 years ago. And he was already using, I don't know if it was Zoom, I don't know if it was VoiceThread, but he was already using those technologies, and it was really, really good. I would say probably as good as in class that I've taken, traditional class that I've taken. So those were kind of my thoughts going into it. I would highly recommend going this program to anyone. I think in addition to learning how to teach online, this is probably the most exhaustive pedagogical training, I don't know if that's the right word, I've ever had. Yeah, PhD programs do that, pretty new out. So yeah, the rest of it was great. I learned so much about Blackboard functionality, just some other things I think about how do we have students communicate with each other online class, things that aren't necessarily on my radar naturally. So I'm really thankful. Okay, so some highlights of the course. I have 4 modules. That says weeks here. In my account, it says modules. So this course is going live 3rd summer. So it'll be going July. It's a 4-week course, so each module will last 4 weeks. So here's my intro page, introduction to the course video. I also have a weekly intro video that goes over what assignments are due that week. Just to keep in students' ears about, hey, maybe you should work today instead of whatever students do. So as far as assignments go for this course, I have a total of 10 kind of low stakes homework type assignments. And the primary purpose of those isn't to really separate grade distribution. It's more just to keep students engaged. So I used, my textbook is McGraw-Hill, and they have some amazing online assignments. Yeah, it's not going to work. Yeah, so if I were signed in under myself, I would show them to you. But these are 5 steps above the crossword puzzles that I was doing in undergrad. They're great assignments, really engaging. To me, they don't come across as belittling or any of that, or a waste of time, busy work type stuff. And they're better than any assignments I could have made. So that's the reason that I use them for those low stakes assignments. So there's a total of 10. There's none on the last week because I have a big final project. So in addition to those low stakes assignments, I have 3 tests, one at the end of module 1, module 2, and module 3. You can work ahead in my class, but you cannot get behind. So module 1 is due at the end of week 1. You can work ahead, but once the module shuts down, you can't go backwards. And I clearly explained that. So I've gone over low stakes assignments, gone over tests. The tests are online. They're timed multiple choice. So I have 2 labs. One is in module 2, so week 2, and one's in module 3, and they're injury analysis labs. So am I going to be able to show those videos? Maybe I shouldn't.
Yeah.
I was...
You're queasy. I don't know.
Okay, so kinesiology, again, it's essentially a functional anatomy class. So looking at soft tissue, so meaning muscle, tendons, ligaments, and the skeletal system, and how they affect human movement. So in order to make this have more of a in-class feel, I decided to do some injury analysis videos. So I used really, really famous sports injuries. So one's from the 2004, I believe, national championship football game, Ohio State versus Miami. Willis McGahee, Miami running back, gets his blow. So what we go over in that class is I have them watch the video, and they don't know what damage actually occurred during the injury. And so they have to post a video explaining what they think was torn in the knee and why. So I won't show it. It is a little bit graphic. Basically, he's running.
Appreciate it.
Running, and he gets hit really hard on the anterior knee, helmet to knee. And yeah, so the answers that I'm wanting them to talk about would be things like, because the ACL, the anterior cruciate ligament, runs from the posterior tibia to the anterior femur, at a 20-degree angle, I think that would be torn due to the posterior translation of the tibia. So that's one of about 6 things that were torn in that injury. And so I want them to go through soft tissue piece by soft tissue piece and talk about, what they think happened, why. So one of the injuries is lower body, so knee, and the other is upper body. It's a shoulder injury that happens in hockey. So similarly, I want them to talk, about a little bit of vector addition, not really like at a physics 1 or engineering level, but based on where the force is coming from and the joint kinematics, what we think happened. Yeah, so I do the same thing in module 3 with a shoulder. And then week 4, the lion's share of week 4 or module 4 is the final exam, or final project rather. So I filmed this morning because I realized if you recognize that shirt. I got a frantic email from Larissa saying, "Hey, have you uploaded this yet?" So once again, saving me. All right, so I give instructions in a number of places, including a video. But this is what I want. Wow, I've never been in a smart classroom apparently. I didn't even mean to do that. So I want them to record themselves doing a back squat. So a back squat is what you think it is. It's one of these, one of these. So they're going to take a video of themselves doing that movement, and they're going to pause at different places. They're going to dub a voice thread telling me about what's going on. So a few things I want them to do. I want them to talk about all of the musculature involved in a back squat, and this isn't completely exhaustive. There's all sorts of support levers, support muscle actions going on. But I want them to talk about the gluteal muscles, the quadriceps muscles, the hamstring muscles, the adductor muscles of the hip. So they're going to be naming them, knowing their full name. So they can't simplify all 4 quadriceps muscles into saying the quad extends when coming up out of a squat. But they have muscle. And so they're going to talk about changes in muscle length in each of those muscles from the standing position to the 90-degree squat position. They're also going to be measuring joint angles literally on their screen using a protractor. So they'll be measuring joint angles at the hip, at the knee. They'll also be talking about muscle actions involved, so concentric contractions, eccentric contractions, talking about in the upward portion which muscles are contracting in a concentric manner versus eccentric. Same for going from state to C. And so one thing Larissa suggested that I am really happy that I ended up going with is that in addition to them posting their final project video, that I give them the opportunity to critique each other's videos, not their form, but their analysis. So they'll be critiquing each other's analysis. And I'm making it very clear they're not to be critiquing anything other than the analysis portion. That's my course. So some things Larissa really helped me with. I think that some students will potentially struggle with the whole VoiceThread thing. Not filming it necessarily, but the mechanisms of posting it in the right place, logging into Blackboard, finding the VoiceThread tab. Larissa made a instructional video for me. So yeah, that should get them up to speed. I have email office hours, but I also have Zoom office hours. That's something new. I've never done that. I like it though. So yeah, I think the things I'm proud about with this course, really all of the assignments, even the low stakes assignments, they're just to kind of keep them on track. They're really high quality. Yeah, the publisher, yeah, made some great assignments. And so I'm really proud of those, even though I didn't make them. But also the injury analyses, I think that those are engaging. Whenever I talk about injuries in class, my students love it. So I think that the students would really enjoy that. And also, injury is a great way to study. Also, the final project, it's very simple to execute. It's not hard to get a side profile of standing, sitting, and then standing. It's very simple mechanically to pull off. But I think that me and Larissa did a really good job asking the right questions that actually force. Yeah, I'm proud of. Any questions? Yes.
Yeah. So the exams are going to be online?
They are.
What are you doing for identification assurance?
So like to make sure that Sarah is taking Sarah's exam?
Yes.
I don't have anything in place right now. So that would probably be a good addition. Yeah.
What are the options? I don't
Facial
know.
recognition. I mean, yeah. So kind of tangent to that question is how do I know that they're not cheating? And I try to keep them from Googling the answer to everything time permits.
There are authentication things you can do. But no, it's just what.
Yeah. No, I don't currently have anything in place. Any other questions?
All right, thank you.